So thank you so much for being here with us today with our Arts is Healing special. And we've already talked about visual art and natividad, and we've talked about music is healing in convalescent hospitals and other kinds of settings. Now we're going to turn to a brand new program called Art Essentials, and here with me who has started this all is Ernesto Altimirano, and we are so happy to have you here today.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you, Paulette.
So Ernesto, tell me about what does the name mean, the Art Essentials?
Art Essential is, the reason it's called Art Essential, it's because we're going to be providing free art and wellness workshops to unserved communities, particularly the Latino community, because here in Monterey County, half the population are Hispanic, and they really don't have a lot of access to the arts, particularly in middle school, in high school. And it's called Art Essential because we're going to be providing a 12-week course. That's how we have it planned out, in which the very first module, a 4-week module, it's about teaching art history, talking about the people, the artists that have really are the most outstanding ones. Then we go and teach photography, also a 4-week course. The reason photography, it's because everybody has now their cell phones. They're taking pictures. Here we live in such a beautiful location. We can just walk down to the wharf, take pictures of the wharf, go down for a hike, take pictures of Pond Lobos. So we'll be teaching them how to take even better photos. The third module, it's about painting, painting mandalas, doing chalk drawings. The last module, it's about mixed media. So they'll be able to learn a little bit about wood carving and also string painting. So that's Art Essential, to teach them the basics. Our goal is not that they're going to be, at the end of the 12-week course, they're not going to be maybe artists, but they'll have all those essential components that they'll be able to transfer to other activities that they do.
Wonderful. So how did you get started?
I got started when a friend of mine, the founder of Art Essential, his name is Alfonso Corona. Alfonso Corona and I were both from Mexico City, but we're very blessed because now we live in this area. And at the beginning of the year, we were really concerned with what's happening with the Latino community here in the United States. There's a lot of stress that young people are experiencing like never before. The things happening with the immigration, if you're a middle school or high school student and you're if you're a dreamer, all of a sudden you don't know if you're going to be able to really continue your studies and even your professional career. And Alfonso was working at Ventana in Big Sur. He came here from Miami some years ago to launch an art gallery in Ventana. And at the beginning of the year, he said, Ernesto, I'm going to be leaving my job in Ventana because I want to start this new organization called Art Essential. And we were friends, and he told me, would you like to come on board? And I was delighted to. I was delighted too because of my own work doing in the arts here in the community. I'm super grateful to the Arts Council and all the support I've received from your team and you, Paulette, because you sponsored one of my art projects, Pasionarte. And also, since I live in Salinas, your support for us to be able to pass our public art ordinance was key. We were there going to the meetings in Salinas City Hall to really show the importance of why public art would be so beneficial to the community, and we were able to pass it. So we were already doing some of the work to bring more art to the community in Salinas, and this is the reason that I became part of Art Essential. It's because it's a continuation, and it's really in my own work going to communities like in the Alisal part of Salinas, and even in Chinatown, which is kind of where the homeless people are. There are places where we can provide art, and that's really where we are right now. We're knocking on different doors to find a location where we can have those art programs.
So you're looking for partners, is that right? To host your workshops?
Yes. Right now we're looking for a partner that maybe has a classroom that they'll be able to give us a chance for us to have the workshops there. The workshops are planned to be on a 12-week workshop, and it's gonna be 8 hours per week.
I see.
4 of those hours, we're planning on having a group session. The way we're planning to have these groups, it's maybe 10 participants, because each participant will have a co-participant to go with them and be part of this journey.
Oh, wow.
It can be maybe a parent, but sometimes they're working, so it can be maybe the grandma. It can be a best friend. So we've been going, for instance, just down the street with the Monterey Museum of Art. With in Salinas, we've been meeting with Chispa Housing, and Palenque Arts has also been very gracious to meet with us. So we're just waiting to hear back to see who facilitates that space for us.
Excellent. And if people want to get a hold of you, what do they do?
The best way to reach us is through our website, which is artessential.org.
Awesome.
They can also, they're free to call me. My telephone number is 831.
Oh, no, don't say your telephone number.
Okay.
So they'll go to your website. So this will be really, really, really great. Really wonderful. But what about email? Do you have an email?
Yes, my email, it would be Ernesto, Ernesto, at Latino, LATINO, EDGE.org. Ernesto at LatinoEdge.org.
Phenomenal. So tell me more about so let's say you have a partner, your workshop is all set up. So what can the students or the participants expect during the time? How independent will they be? How much instruction will they have? Do they keep a journal? Is there anything like that?
Yes, regarding the journal, one of the key aspects of our program is that at the end of the 12-week workshop, they're going to have a professional portfolio. This professional portfolio will include all the different artworks that they did. That way, it'll help them, in the case of high school students, they can incorporate it on their college application. They can, and this artwork, this portfolio can also help them for job interviews, because let's say what a student can expect from this is that they're going to be working, if we divide the week, one part of the course will be on a group setting, in which we'll be teaching them the different skills. The way that we're going to be teaching them the skills, we're going to be incorporating a lot of mindfulness and also meditation. The reason that we're going to be incorporating this is because then they're able to take these tools and also use them on their particular lives, especially dealing with all the things that are happening outside. They're going to be able to center themselves, find peace, and that first session will be followed up with a one-on-one session that will be done by Alfonso, which is our main instructor, using, for instance, a Skype. It will be a Skype in which he'll be guiding them through the process. Another component is that they can also expect how to monetize the tools that they're going to be learning. For instance, one of our modules is photography. So once they go through that 4-week module, they'll be able to, perhaps, if they're confident enough, to approach their school, to approach a church and say, I saw that you're going to be hosting this festival or this celebration. I would like to offer my photography skills to photograph the event, and they'll be paid for it. We're going to be teaching that entrepreneurial aspect as well. Regarding this entrepreneurial aspect, we have partnered with different farmers markets. So once they go through the whole 12-week workshop, well, they can perhaps sell their artwork, maybe one of their paintings, one of their drawings, one of their wood carvings, because we want to teach them that there's it can be a career. They can pursue a career in the arts if they so desire.
So that's wonderful. Can you tell me more about Alfonso, his background, and what is it that drove him? You tell a little bit about what drove him to want to do this, but what it's such a big undertaking. So what is his motivation to really make it happen and to make it happen here?
Yes, his motivation is really to help our Latino people, as we call them, our paisanos, because we see that the need for it. We see how much there's more than demand. There's the need for it, and that was really the motivation. This motivation has been justified in some of the things that we have been doing. For instance, even though we just got our 501c3 nonprofit status approved.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Two months ago, we began working on this since January 2018.
Yeah, it takes a long time.
Yes. Back in May, we went and were in a very formal meeting in San Jose, where even the Mexican consulate was there, because it was the planning for their binational health week.
Oh, wow.
And we were able to really show what we were doing, and we got a lot of support. One of the way we were supported is that we were invited to be featured speakers during during Morgan Hill's Binational Health Week's annual event.
Yeah.
This took place just a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, wonderful.
And thank you. And during that conference, it was their 12th annual conference. There were social workers. Social workers were pretty much painting the picture of what's going on with the Latino community right now.
Yeah.
And it was discouraging.
Yeah.
It was discouraging because she showed all of the challenges that are
so many stressors.
Yes, all those stressors.
Yeah.
All those stressors, Paulette, regarding the pressure they are feeling immigration-wise. The previous speaker to us was a doctor who he works a lot with people in the farming community, and the doctor was saying, for instance, how they have a really poor diet. They'll go and they're gonna be working in the fields under very harsh circumstances, and they'll be bringing a 2-liter Coke and junk food to eat for their whole working day. And how most parents, the two of them, will be working, and the child will be at home really with no one to take care of him, and how this really affects their mental health.
Yeah.
After the doctor, it was her chance to talk.
Yeah.
So it was really a little bit about gloom and doom.
Yeah.
And then we talked, and here's really where Alfonso's skill set came to play. Because we did provide some of the theory of what we were doing.
Yeah.
Everything was supported with facts, but then there's nothing like experiencing it for yourself.
Wow.
So it was on a big hall, maybe 200 people were there with doctors and all of the social workers, and he took them through a meditation exercise. At the end of the exercise,
did he? Wow.
Yes, to really ground yourself. And it took place. It was a couple of minutes, but they were able to feel it for themselves.
Wow.
And afterwards, we had a session for questions and answers. The first person to talk was the doctor that had spoken before us.
Yeah. What did he say?
He said, "I completely support all that you're doing, and we need it."
That's awesome.
So yes, that was really a way for us to realize we're so glad that the community is also, that it's not just telling the community this can help you.
Yes.
Is that they're saying, thank you for bringing this because we need it.
Well, we're going to end it right there. Ernesto, thank you so
my
much.
pleasure,
Thank you for your wonderful leadership, and we can't wait to hear more.
Thank you, Paulette. Thank you so much for the opportunity to come and talk to you.
Absolutely. Thank you.